Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern Ned Reynolds in the studio on a Tuesday morning. So it was announced yesterday the home opener for the Chiefs, the season opener for the NFL, all happening Thursday, September 5th in Kansas City. Chiefs, Ravens. We'll get the full season schedule tomorrow, but your thoughts on this as the marquee game for the year?
A logical choice, but then the NFL doesn't always practice logic. So I'm not surprised. This is the game that everybody thought should happen, but last year, the Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl rematch would have been the logical thought, but oh no, they pushed that game back to November and had the Chiefs and Detroit Lions. I'm puzzled as to what their thinking is, if there is any. Maybe it's just a toss of the coin, but whatever. The Ravens and the Chiefs will be a really good matchup. You know, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Jackson's the NFL MVP, not Patrick. And indeed, this is going to be a terrific matchup because Baltimore has reloaded. They have Derrick Henry on their ball club now. They can run, assuming he can still play. And a very good passing, a lot of quickness. This will be a terrific matchup. I'm anxious to see what happens. And then, interestingly enough, Mike, there's a game the very next night, an NFL game. And a Friday night NFL game is hugely unusual. I don't think the last one may have been about 15, 20, 25 years ago, brought about by an emergency because of a hurricane. It was in Florida. Miami Dolphins played. But this one is on schedule, and it's a Friday night game in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's the Eagles and the Packers in there. But that's the next night. That's 24 hours later. So the NFL, the marketing geniuses that they are, have come through with another great plan.
They have, and again, you got to spread it out, man. You don't want to blow it all at once. So I can kind of see why they put the Chiefs-Eagles matchup a little bit further down the road. But you know what? Got a schedule coming tomorrow, and then I can really start making my plans. But I'll definitely be there for the home opener. I'll tell you that much. We're also getting to the pretty much end of the prep spring sports, and that means championships in both baseball and softball. When do those start?
And they are both here. They're both in Southwest Missouri, which is really cool and has been. Baseball begins with the classes 1, 2, and they will be on May 27th and 28th. That's the latter part of this month. That's only a couple weeks away. And then classes 3 and 4 are May 29th and 30th, and classes 5 and 6 are May 31st and June 1st, all at the ballpark down in Ozark, which is just a magnificent setting for a championship series, and hopefully will continue there for a number of years. So it's at the end of this month. It all begins on May 27th, and it ends on June the 1st. As far as the softball is concerned, those games are played at the Killian Complex out on East Pythian in Springfield. That's another outstanding venue for softball. And there's only 2 days on that one, and that's May 20th coming up next Monday, and the following day, May 21st. So we're right there for the state softball championships. Might remember there are 2 seasons for softball, and not all teams some choose to play in the spring and some choose to play in the fall. And this is the spring championship season, and it is May 20th and 21st at Killian.
Got another big golf tournament coming up this weekend, and we got Mother's Day out of the way, so you should be able to go watch that all weekend long.
And it's the second of the golf Grand Slam events, the PGA National. They moved it from August until May, did that a couple of years ago, and this year the venue is Valhalla in Louisville, which did house the Ryder Cup at one time a couple of years ago. Valhalla is a wonderful course, and the pros will be in for a big-time challenge. And Scotty Scheffler, who just became a father earlier this week, actually latter part of last week, will be there. He'll be there to see if the rest of the field can challenge him because he's been on a tear, but he has also been off for a couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. Did they delay or not delay, but the absence harm his rhythm? Well, we'll find out. Anyway, that all begins on Thursday at Valhalla in Louisville.
So the Kansas City Royals have won the last 2 series in a row, which is awesome. They're out west, and they are facing some tough hombres in the northwest corner. What about the Cardinals?
Cardinals and the Royals are both out on the West Coast. The Cardinals played the Los Angeles Angels last night, fell behind 4-0. Well, in the past, that would have been a death knell for the Cardinals, but all of a sudden they snapped out of it, had an 8-run 7th inning. Now, keep in mind, these are the Angels, and they are not a great team, but they do have a pretty good bullpen staff. And the Cardinals shelled that bullpen staff. Nolan Arenado had a home run, it's only his third of the year, but he led off the inning, and then things went really right for the Cardinals, and they got runner after runner, sent 14 batters to the plate in the seventh inning and scored 8 runs, and were able to hold off the Angels. 10-5 was the final score. So a win. Maybe the Cardinals are coming out of it now. Maybe this recent batting slump that they've been in is a thing of the past. Even Goldschmidt, even Paul Goldschmidt had a hit last night that raised his average to 199. And some of the others came through with clutch hits against a pretty good bullpen. So fingers crossed. It was the Cardinals 10, the Angels 5. Now the Royals ran into a kid named George Kirby, who is a very good pitcher. He's out of Elon in North Carolina. And Kirby shut down Kansas City. Seattle Mariners win it by a score of 6-2. Kansas City hasn't lost very many games in recent days, but they did lose this one, but they're playing a pretty good team. The Mariners are a contender in the American League West, and the Royals fell to them 6-2. They'll play again tonight out in Seattle.
Also, I know that you are very excited because the next jewel in the tennis Grand Slam is about to be placed, and that means the French Open is getting ready to start soon.
The only one of the major tennis tournaments that's played on clay, and they play at the Roland Garros Tennis Complex in Paris. Roland Garros Stadium is where the finals of the French Open are held. But this is a big deal. It is a tough situation because not all of the pros are accustomed to playing on clay courts. It is different in respect that the ball bounces a little bit differently, and you have to go through quite a few weeks of getting used to that particular rebounding effort and come through with the win. Anyway, it's at Roland Garros, and of course, Mr. Djokovic will be there, and Novak can play the game. Anyway, it all begins next Monday, May 20th, and concludes on Sunday, June the 9th. So that's the French Open, the second of the tennis Grand Slam events.
Now, we do still have the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs going on and the NBA playoffs, so let's go through those scores.
Well, the NBA went to the Boston Celtics in one game, 109-102, and the Celtics now lead the Cleveland Cavaliers 3-1. Dallas Mavericks and the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Thunder won the game 100-96 in an absolute dandy. That series is all tied at 2 games apiece. In the National Hockey League, the Carolina Hurricanes went into Madison Square Garden in New York and beat the New York Rangers 4-1. That series is still owned by the New York Rangers. We'll find out what happens the next couple of days. And the Dallas Stars went out to Denver, beat the Colorado Avalanche 5-1. That series is also very much in contest. So, hey, a long way to go before these pro sports championships are decided.
You are right about that, Ned. You have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow.